Welcome to ARUME Insights. Today, we're demonstrating a newly discovered zero-day vulnerability called RunOut that blocks access to devices using serial to TCP/IP converters such as automatic tank gauges or ATGs. These converters translate serial data from the tank gauge into a format computers can understand and transmit over a network. This vulnerability can be exploited to disrupt fuel supplies at gas stations across the country. This demonstration will not attack or break into the tank gauge, only block access to it. We can go to Shodan.io, a search engine for internet-connected devices, to locate a vulnerable tank gauge with a visible IP address. We've blurred out the IP address for security purposes. Here, we're using Telnet to connect to the vulnerable tank gauge via port 10001, a common port for tank gauges. We're now connected to the tank gauge. By sending the standard command control AI20100, we can see the tank gauge is responding and giving us tank gauge information. This command and others are easily found in the publicly available documentation for the VIDA Root Serial Communication Protocol, the standard for communicating with tank gauges. The test is conducted late at night to prevent disruption and only for a short period, as blocking access would prevent fuel suppliers from monitoring inventory during the test. We can send interrogation commands like I commands which can reveal details like inventory levels and deliveries, and even S commands that can make configuration changes that cross the red line between data theft and an attack on critical infrastructure. This highlights the risk associated with open tank gauges, of which there are about 5,000 vulnerable right now. Worse still, RunOut can block access to tank gauges that are supposedly protected with passwords, VPNs, etc. Now that we are connected and communicating with the tank gauge, we'll demonstrate the RunOut vulnerability in a separate window. Running a very simple script that's only a couple of lines of code, we can exploit the baked-in RunOut vulnerability. With the script running, we once again attempt to access the tank gauge, but this time we get connection refused and will continue to do so until the RunOut attack script is stopped. Once we stop the script, we can connect to the tank gauge and can see the tank information again. We can repeat the demonstration to show the consistent and repeatable blocking behavior caused by the RunOut script. Again, seeing that the tank gauge is blocked. We're deliberately not showing the exact details of the script, particularly how the attack works. ARUME has not published specifics of the script or attack method to prevent malicious actors from exploiting the vulnerability and disrupting access to a vast network of gas station tank gauges. RunOut can be classified as a zero-day vulnerability because it's newly discovered, but the underlying issue might have existed for 30 years and is baked into the technology. The exploit code is very simple and could be deployed on polling servers used to poll tens of thousands of tank gauges. If it runs within those environments, it bypasses both firewalls and VPN protection of the tank gauges. RunOut by its nature bypasses password protection on the tank gauge itself, as password input takes place after connection is made. To repeat, RunOut is a recently discovered but long-standing vulnerability that's built into serial to TCP/IP converters used in tank gauges and other IoT devices. This video demonstrates the vulnerability and emphasizes its seriousness, urging responsible disclosure and mitigation strategies. If you would like to learn more about RunOut, please get in touch at www.arume.org.